Good afternoon, everyone. This is week 6's discussion. I thought this week's video was very interesting and perceptive of what the guest speaker went through in his life, and I think there's a lot about his story that is applicable to what we have to do in the writing process. And one thing I observed from his story was in his healing process, he talked about as he was healing, he wasn't able to do the things that he used to do before his mystery illness, and that everything that once was just normal for him in his work became difficult. Even things that he felt shouldn't be difficult. It seemed like every little thing, every detail of his life was needing a lot more energy than it did before, because his body was less able to do what it did before in the intensity that it did before. And in his healing process, he talked about how he would work really hard for just a couple hours a day, and he started out just doing 1 day a week, and then 2 days a week, and then 3 days a week, and so on. And he talked about how as he did that, he took time to reflect and to get feedback from others who were observing him to see was he better when he was working, or was he better when he wasn't working. And after kind of experimenting with doing a couple hours a day, he learned he was doing better when he was working. And so from that information, he was able to keep going and keep doing a little bit more every day and progressing forward slowly. But what he learned, from that experience was he was doing better from working, and then he implemented that. And that's totally what we're doing as we're writing our essays. Is we're trying something, we're kind of experimenting, and then we're getting feedback and reflecting on our experiment, and then we're seeing what happened, and then we're saying, okay, what worked and what didn't work, and then we're applying that to new situations. So I think it was a great example of how we can kind of look at our own lives and figure out, okay, what experiences have led to me learning, and then using those lessons in other areas of life. Another observation I had of him and just his character was he was just so honest in saying, the work I do and the work you do, talking to the speaker, is not easy, it's very hard, but I'm not complaining. So I just thought that was kind of interesting to learn from his character. Is he's very honest in saying he did a lot of very difficult things. He's not shying away from saying that his job was not easy. He was just very honest about that, but he's also saying not to complain. I'm very thankful for my job. I've done it for a long time, but it is hard work, and it was important for him to acknowledge that and not just say, the work isn't that difficult, I should be able to do it just fine. He was saying, my work is very difficult, and now I'm realizing more than ever how difficult it is, and it's going to take time to relearn how to do those things now that he wasn't as able as he was before his illness. Kind of looking on my own life and reflecting from this video, and he talked about a mystery illness and how it was very hard for him to work through that because he didn't know what it was, and he didn't know what contributed to it, and so therefore he didn't know what changes to make to prevent it or to help him manage his illness, because he just didn't know where to start. And it was really important for me to hear that too, because that's something I've been struggling with for over 2 years. I have this mystery illness that's been seemingly chronic, and I've had to go to so many doctor's visits and get so much advice from so many different people, and it seemed like nothing was helping. And so it's very hard to heal from something that you don't know what's causing it, and you don't know what it is. So I just have a lot of empathy for him in that, and I thought that was really valuable to hear from someone just saying, this is really hard, and what I did before this illness, I'm realizing more than ever, took a lot of energy. And just having grace with yourself and allowing yourself to take your recovery slowly and take time to learn and experiment to figure out what's going to help and what's not. It's a process, and what you learn is valuable. So those are my thoughts this week. I look forward to hearing from you guys.